Have you heard of a woman named Janet Chernin? Well, maybe you haven't, but I think you should, so I'm going to tell you about her now. She got into a fight with the federal government over the census. She didn't want to fill out the form. Now, her reason for not wanting to fill out the form might be different than mine. Here's hers. Lockheed Martin, large American company involved in military matters, actually does the data crunching, apparently, for Canada when Stats Canada collects the census forms. She took exception to that because she's a pacifist and she doesn't like Lockheed Martin. Now, she could also have a complaint, and maybe others would join her more enthusiastically on this, that our census information is gathered and handed over to an American company. Most of the time, I couldn't care less if we're doing business with Americans or people from Israel or people from Botswana. It doesn't make any difference to me because I want those countries to do business with business people in Canada as well, trade around the world. However, I think you could make an argument that maybe that's a contract that could go to a Canadian company with people giving up their personal information. Her argument was on a pacifist basis. The government disagreed. Would they, in fact, be aggressive enough to prosecute a 79-year-old lady who didn't want to fill out the form? Could they get all the details they need without going after her? Apparently, the answer to that was yes, they would prosecute her. No, they needed her personal information before the data set would be complete. So they prosecuted her. Today, they found her guilty. And they decided, no, we won't send her to jail. No, we won't collect cash off her. What we'll do is we'll give her 50 hours of community service. All right, they took some of her time and made it their own. People doing community service are doing it on a voluntary basis. She certainly thought, I think, that she was doing a service to the community in her pacifist activism, and I think she was doing a service to the community by standing up to the government. What kind of a free nation makes it a penalty of law if you don't fill out a piece of paper for some bits of information the government says they want? Can they not find Google? Can they not get enough Canadians to voluntarily fill out the census form in order to gain information? The answer to that, of course, is yes, they can. Companies do it all the time. Surveys are done all the time. Sometimes surveys are wrong, but I got news for you. Sometimes government work is wrong as well. In this case, if a few cranky Canadians don't want to fill out the census form, don't make them do it. I, for one, object to being told by the government that I'll go to jail unless I give up my personal information. I'd be more inclined to give them the information they want if they just asked, like nice people. Or, let me put it this way, like people who work for me, not the other way around. We have too much of an attitude in this country that we are somehow servants of the government. We're not. So I would ask any politician, what kind of a free country threatens people with jail if they don't tell you how many cats and dogs they have in the house? That's Straight Talk. I'm Jerry Agar.